already know what time it is. Welcome back into the What Offseason Sports Podcast, everybody. Coming on today's episode, so we know the playoffs are here, so we're going to go through the divisional round, give you a lock, give you an upset, and just chop it up about the NFL. But on a real note, everybody, I'm not alone today. Bringing a super special guest to the show. We are officially plugged in with Jason Parrish from the Fantasy Football Plug podcast. You want to talk about a guy that's grinding from interviews like T-Pain to Hall of Fame running backs like Marcus Allen, even guys like potentially Darren Waller getting on the show. You got to check out the Fantasy Football Plug podcast. Jay, introduce yourself to the show today, brother. It's such a pleasure to have you on.
Man, the pleasure is all mine, Adam. I appreciate you having me, buddy. Jay the Plug, I don't really know what else to say. Started off with fantasy football, love fantasy football. Can't wait for that to start back up. So feels like forever from now, but man, I'm just happy to be here doing as many interviews as I can for my show Plugged In with Jay, and then Fantasy Football Plug podcast. But now fantasy's over, so we're just talking regular football, man. But I can't tell you how much I appreciate you having me, man. It's an honor.
Hey, man, I super appreciate you taking your time to come on the show today. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go follow him on all possible platforms. Graphic on the screen for you at the FF Plug Podcast. Putting out content every day, man. This guy's hilarious. Seriously, you want to talk about a guy that's just hustling, grinding in the game, doesn't give a damn about what he's putting out because he knows it's great. You're looking at Jay the Plug right now, guys. Today's episode is brought to you by the NBA Store. Of course, a new year brings another NBA season, and now you can suit up with the latest gear right from NBA.com. You can go to the NBA Store, actually. And, we might be sidelined from the game, but when you're watching the Clippers, the Lakers, the Hawks, whoever it may be, from the house, you can definitely chill out on your couch in some of the dopest gear that the NBA Store can get for you. And right now, Jay and I are teaming up with the NBA and Podgo to bring our listeners of this episode up to 75, yes, you heard me correctly, 75% off select items. All you got to do is go to podgo.co/NBA. You know the deal. You hear me reading the ads every week. Same podgo.co/NBA for up to 75% off select items from the NBA Store. It's the NBA, guys, where amazing happens. You know the Lakers are out there trying to repeat as champions, so you got to get over to the NBA Store and get you some gear. Jay, we're heading into the divisional round. Are you ready to get plugged in to the NFL playoffs now, brother?
I see what you did there. Let's go.
Let's do it, man. We'll stay away from our Saints at first. Rather, let's start here a little bit. If you had to predict an upset for these 4 games this weekend, who would it be and why?
Man, and this was a question that I was my wife was like, why are you on your phone so much right now? I'm like, because I'm trying to think.
I'm prepping for the show, babe.
Yeah, shh. I'm trying to think.
It's tough because there could be upsets in every game this weekend, man. It really could be.
I think the Ravens are going to upset the Bills.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. That is my potential upset for the weekend, man. Let me let you get your take before I pop off here.
I hate saying that so much, bro, because I'm a huge Josh Allen fan.
Right. You can't hate the kid, dude. He's balling.
A championship. Oh, dude, it's insane. It's awesome to watch him play. And with Stephon Diggs going in and seeing their camaraderie together, that's what you need in a quarterback and a receiver. But, I digress. I just don't think I get this feeling that the Bills aren't going to be able to hold off Lamar Jackson after all the stuff that keeps being said about him and all this. And he popped off, man. Last game, he was like, you know what? I'm going to show you I'm still MVP worthy. Now, he's not this season, but he was playing like the MVP he was last year.
Of course.
The unanimous MVP last year.
Of course.
That means nobody else voted against him. He was voted for by every one of his peers. And then anybody's going to sit here and say, oh, well, he's lost a step. No, he hasn't.
Right.
He's chilling in a way. He's not going ham like he was before. But now he's like, you know what? I'm going to pop the top off of this thing now and quit playing around.
Yeah.
He hit another step, and I think he's going to continue, even though it's supposed to be freezing and snowing and stuff. But then at the same time, they were in Baltimore. They're used to that.
Right.
I think they're going to go ham on him. I really do. I think it's going to be a little bit lopsided. That's just the feeling I get.
I feel you, man. I was thinking the same thing, but talking about an upset for the Ravens, you go look at the Bills, man. In the Colts game, they were outplayed on every aspect. They got outgained. They got sacked more. They held the ball less. I mean, you can go look at the numbers. It's all there for you. There's no question about that. And, I think it goes back to the fact that people wanted to write off the Colts, and the Colts are a good team. Like, the Colts are a really good team, I think. And like I said, they're just a quarterback away from being a big problem for anybody in the NFL. I feel like the Ravens can come in there. I feel like the Ravens have started to play better defense than Indianapolis was at the end of the year. Lamar Jackson in that offense is hot. Harbaugh obviously knows the pressure that's on him. Lamar Jackson just beat the people who knocked him off and embarrassed him last year. So he's feeling on top of the world. And the Bills just played a tough one. They just beat the Colts by 3, and they had to put everything they had into that. Josh Allen at one point in that game had every single yard for the Bills, but like 40 of them. And that's because they can't run the football. Those other 40 yards was for the struggling running back. Zach Moss is out now as well. They just put Devontae Freeman on the practice squad just in case they got to call him up, because the running back room is looking thin, and that's something that they can't do, and the Ravens can do it. And another thing, the Colts were cutting up that secondary from Buffalo, and I know the Ravens aren't a huge passing team. I know Lamar is still trying to get his arm on him, but I can just definitely see an upset here. So I'm super happy you brought that up. If I had to pick an upset for the weekend, it would be the Ravens over the Bills. Now, if you had to say without a question, your lock for the weekend, who is winning? And it's okay if you say the Saints. Who is 100% winning this weekend without a doubt?
Saints are going to beat the Bucs.
Yeah, that's going to be your lock.
And I'm saying that because, as you know, I think the fix is in. I just do. I think.
I know.
Some people say, "Oh, I don't see anything." What's funny is people say, "I don't see anything this year that would make us think that there's a fix." It's not. It's not something that gradually happens. It's something that it's just out of nowhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and I know it's easy for me to say because if the Saints lose, then I can say, "Oh, they just won Brady to win the Super Bowl."
Right.
We have dominated Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I know he watches your show. We have dominated you twice. Not once, twice. In your home, we beat the living crap out of you.
Yeah.
And we got to see Giselle look down and sad with her daughter, and it was like, it was so wonderful. I have to see that again. It's going to happen again. The Saints are going to beat the Bucs.
I love it, man. I love it. My lock for the weekend is going to be the Chiefs and the Browns, but I don't feel like that's necessarily as easy to pick, like you said, Jay. And here's why: because you look at the Chiefs, man. What's up now?
I said, you cheater. I just said no, and that's your pick.
Yeah, I'm stealing it from you, dude. I'm pulling it from you, and it's definitely going to be the Chiefs.
I know you got your own takes. You're good at that.
I got the Chiefs, man, over the Browns. That's going to be my lock for the weekend, but the Browns do have a chance in this game because if there's two ways to beat the Chiefs, it's to rush the passer and it's to obviously be able to run the football. And they do both of those things very well. That's probably two things that they do the best for the Cleveland Browns is running the football and being able to rush the passer. Kansas City has been sleepwalking here recently. And if you think about it, technically, the Chiefs and the Packers are the two rustiest teams right now heading into the playoffs because they've had that week off. They didn't have that week. It's a little bit of an off week for them. Like, we know they're enjoying the rest, but we saw it when the Saints got the first round bye in the NFC Championship a couple years ago. Breeze comes out, throws a pick on the first play. Now, yeah, he underthrew that ball just a little bit, but that's what you get coming out, being amped up. You're a little too hype. You feel like you're too ready to play. And I feel like potentially that could happen and Cleveland could come in and upset. I don't see it happening, but that's why it's not as easy of a lock as some people would think. But if I had to put money on a game this weekend, I would take the Chiefs over the Browns. Obviously, the Chiefs' offense is ridiculous. The defense is good as well. But like I said, the Browns have a chance. Baker Mayfield's feeling himself. Stefanski's going to be back. That team is probably like feeling the most emotionally invested into these playoffs right now because they are here and they know. I mean, you look, for the whole decade, they had won 11 games. And now they're winning 11 games in one season. That's a huge step for Cleveland. But my lock is going to be the Chiefs over the Browns. Who would be your winner of that game, though? Without a question, the Chiefs, for sure. Would you basically take all those words out of my mouth for you, Jay?
Man, I got to tell you, buddy, you might have just, like the way you talk, like what you had to say. No, you're right. They run the hell out of the ball. And,
yep.
I got lost in my own hubris, if you will. I just thought, like, oh, it's easy, no problem. I got that. But then you just opened my brain up to a lot of, because you're right. In order to take it to the Chiefs, you got to be. Look at what the Raiders did.
Oh yeah. The
and
Raiders
they
put out
ran the hell
so
out of
much
that ball.
pressure on Mahomes.
And you got Nick Chubb, who look. I think Nick Chubb is amazing, and a lot of people are watching this and be like, "Plug, you wait a minute, you said that Nick Chubb." Look, I never said Nick Chubb was bad. I think Nick Chubb is amazing, but I'm going to wait and draft somebody. Sorry, going back to fantasy, I'm going to wait a round or two and draft Kareem Hunt and get the same value.
Of course.
So who wouldn't? I mean, a lot of people, I guess, but they have probably the best running back tandem in the league.
Oh, yeah. Probably the most dynamic backfield in the NFL.
For sure. And I mean, a coach of mine used to say something so ridiculous, and every time I say this, people are like, what the hell does that mean? But ain't no minimum like momentum.
Mm-hmm.
They got momentum. I mean, you're right. And I mean, they rush the pad. Man, you maybe making me think. I didn't realize I have to think when I came onto this show.
Hey, man, that's what we're here for, brother. What do you think it is over here, man? What do you think this is? There's no offseason, brother.
Yeah, man. So I still think the Chiefs are going to take it, but I think that the Browns are going to make them. I think
they're going to make them sweat it out. They're going to make them sweat it out.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's going to be a hell of a lot closer than what people are giving them credit for.
Agreed, man. Definitely agreed. Down to the last two games for the NFL divisional round of the playoffs. We'll save the best matchup for last. We'll start here with the Rams at the Packers. Now, as much as I want the LA Rams to go in there, absolutely dominate, be able to knock Aaron Rodgers off his rocker and not make the NFC have to run through the frozen tundra that is Lambeau Field, I'd love to see that, but we don't really know what's up with Jared Goff. We don't really know what's up with Aaron Donald. I'm pretty sure Cooper Kupp got hurt, and it would be a tall task, but the Rams do have an elite defense, and I know the Packers haven't necessarily been the best this year when they're going up against a juggernaut of a defense that is the Los Angeles Rams. I am going to take the Packers to win this game just because of the health that the Rams don't have right now, but you could see maybe the Rams coming in, and what if Jalen Ramsey is able to lock down Devontae Adams? Would you feel like Aaron Rodgers would be able to potentially get it out to MVS and get it out to Robert Tonyan and get it out to Aaron Jones and Alan Lazard more? That's a question that we aren't necessarily sure about yet because Devontae has been so dominant this year. I am going to take the Packers to win this game, though. Like I said, I do think they're going to be able to get that offense going. And obviously the offense of the Rams is just not going to be able to hang. But I know it sounds like I'm back and forth here, and it could go either way. I'm taking the Packers to win, but if that Rams defense shows up and plays like it has been all year, don't be surprised if the NFC Championship cannot go through the frozen tundra. Jay, tell me who you got winning this game, man.
I think the Packers are going to take it because of exactly what you said. There are a lot of variables.
Fresh takes.
Yeah. I think it's going to be the Packers. I think it's going to be a lot closer than the same thing with like the Chiefs and the Browns. I think it's going to be a hell of a lot closer than we thought.
Right.
Aaron Donald, from what I've heard and gotten some information on, it was a rib issue.
Okay.
But he was out running and doing things like that toward the end of the game, on the sidelines and stuff, and he wanted to go back in.
Right.
So I think with, the rest and everything, and Aaron Donald doesn't have to practice.
Right.
They're going to be taking care of that rib, and I think they're probably going to, they're going to guard him up a little bit more. I think he's going to play.
Right.
And if Aaron Donald's playing, even at 75%,
oh yeah,
Rodgers is in for a lot of trouble. And Donald, I mean, you've seen him play in the cold before. He's got no issues. This dude is a monster. Aaron Donald is one of my favorite players in the league.
Oh yeah,
he's unbelievable.
We know who AD is, man.
Yeah, if that defense if they can hold Rodgers, if they can, and what they need to do is the defense needs to get the ball back as quickly as possible. So hopefully Ramsey can hold off Adams. I don't think he's going to.
Yeah, Devontae's on another level.
Yeah, Adams can make catches that are unbelievably contested.
Yep.
Like unreal. And
he's like the new Julio Jones, but he gets in the end zone, bro. It's what it feels like, seriously.
100%. And like with Ramsey's a lot faster than people think. Like that's how he could get into DK Metcalf's head. DK Metcalf is a phenomenal receiver, don't get me wrong. He's a juggernaut, but like he takes the top off quick. That's how he gets open so much and how he does what he does. Yep. It's not like he's an unbelievable route runner. He is good, obviously, but he's not Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams is one of the best route runners you can find. And man,
oh yeah,
Adams is very pure in football. If you know what I'm saying, like he'll have a route, but he'll do like a stutter here when he's not supposed. Like, you know what I mean? Like he'll have a route like just like a button hook or something.
He'll put his own character on that route to where it makes it his. And
exactly.
that's
He's
probably
like,
what could turn it into a huge game or gain or a touchdown.
yeah.
Hell, he hit the end zone, 18 times this season? That's a lot. That is a lot for a wide receiver.
And when you've got a guy like Aaron Rodgers who trusts him, Rodgers will go somewhere and Adams will go get it. So that's going to be fun to watch, is those two. But I think Jamal Williams is going to have a big game. I really do. I think he is him. I think Aaron Jones is going to have a good game, but I think one of the other two running backs are going to have a good game. Like if you look at AJ Dillon when he plays in the cold, he I don't know what it is. That dude's, I don't know if it's his quads that keep him warm, but he gets big. So I think the Packers are going to take it. I think it's going to be close. But man, I would love to see the Saints get in there with the Rams.
Yeah, that would be huge. That would be huge. Right there on that rematch, right back in New Orleans. Oh man.
Seriously.
Oh God, it just gives me chills, man. Why did you? Don't think about 2018.
Sorry.
Don't think about 2018. Don't think about 2018. Don't think. Like that's what I mean. We would be good, man. Like the Saints understand the pressure. Like that's the thing about New Orleans is like all the years we had a run at the chip outside of 09. Like I was always skeptical about the defense, even in 09. All we did was make a lot of turnovers in 09. But now this year, like I know it's the Bears, but the fact that the Bears did not convert a third down until the end of the game, that's huge, and that segues us perfectly over into the final game. I'm pretty sure it is going to be the final game of the divisional weekend. It's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's going to be the New Orleans Saints down in the Superdome. Brady Breeze, part 3. I'll start with the guest, Jay the Plug. What is going down in this game on Sunday?
I think.
You know.
I think that defense.
He said, "Yeah, check it the Saints. Check it out,
Yeah, man. I should have put my helmet back here. I got signed by a bunch of them at that Falcons game. Man, that was fun. But I think that our defense is good enough now. Just like you were saying in 09, like that's all we were missing. Is a good defense, and our defense is killing it with Hendrickson, who's supposed to be playing again.
We need that pressure on Brady. We need that pressure on Tom.
Seriously. Cam Jordan, DeMario Davis, Alex Anzalone, Gardner Johnson, which, man, I'll tell you what, if he was on any other team, I'd be like, man, he guy's a punk.
Oh, yeah. Hey, man, I still call him a punk. He can ball, but he's a punk, bro, 100%. I respect his game, though. It was funny. Someone asked was it Sheldon Rankins in the press conference? They were like, hey, man, can you give us a G-rated version of what C.J. Gardner-Johnson says to people? And he's like, nah, man, there ain't no G-rated version. Like, what does he tell these people?
I know, man. I'm dying to know. I got to find out.
Like, at Florida, too, though, he was getting flagged. He's a chatterbox at Florida. So, I mean, he's carrying that game to the NFL. And, I mean, hell, if he can get Mike Evans ejected from talking to him, please do. I mean, we know Marshawn Lattimore is going to be on Mike Evans, locking him down. But if we could talk to AB or maybe Godwin a little bit, I like that. I'd like that.
Oh, my God. He just got to get in somebody's head. And AB, it's easy to get in AB's head.
Oh, yeah.
So all you got to do is be like, man, your hair looks stupid. But I think it's going to be a decent game, but I hope it's not. I hope we dominate them just like we did when we went into their house. And what was it like?
Everybody picked the Bucs, 38-3. It should have been about 50-3. It really should have. But it was 38-3. I say 38-0 because you're a chump if you kick a field goal at the end of the game just so you don't put 0 on the board. Like
they didn't want.
Like I guarantee you that call pissed Brady off. Like you're really not going to let me go out there and try to score a touchdown.
They didn't want him to get skunked. You know what I mean? They didn't want Brady to blank. Like because has he ever?
Right. Has he ever been shut out in an NFL game before? Now, that would have been huge. I mean, I take it as a shutout, bro. Brady didn't get in the end zone. 3 picks. We'll take it. 6 QBR. Yes, sir.
Let's do it again.
I
think we're going to take it. I really do. I like to ruffle feathers and stuff with the whole the fixes in thing, but I really do think that we're going to take this one. And I think it's – I don't think we're going to dominate them the way that we did when we were in Tampa, but I think we're still going to beat them by at least 2 scores.
I love it, man. I love it. And I'm right there with you. I don't think it's going to be a shellacking. I think it could be either a knockdown drag out game, maybe a shootout or 17-14. Not really sure because you've got two big veterans going into this game. You got two old quarterbacks going into this game. Two guys are still able to produce. You look at Brady. I'll go ahead and say it. He's having a better season than Breeze. There's no question about that. Over 40 touchdowns. I know Breeze was hurt, but we know Breeze was kind of showing cracks in the armor early on, looking old. He's still got his moments here and there, but I still trust my guy. I like the leadership, and he is New Orleans. Everybody knows that.
Mhm.
Both of these teams are stacked
Yeah.
offensively. Both of these teams are stacked defensively. But the difference that comes in is coaching and secondary, and that's where the Saints have the advantage. I think Sean Payton's going to work his magic. I don't think he's going to be I don't think he's going to try to outthink himself, try to be the smartest guy, try to be the biggest guy in the room. I could see some simplicity in this game, just making our game plan work for what it's been all year. But now we've got the full discrepancy, just like when everybody was healthy back in that game in week 9, that one short second when we saw Kamara, Thomas, Sanders, Cook, and Breeze all right there, man. It's going to come down to coaching. It's going to come down to the secondary. And the secondary for the Bucs is really average. I think we can cut it up, and we're going to be out there playing our great secondary with Malcolm Jenkins. Obviously, we're going to have Janoris. We're going to have Marshawn Lattimore. We're going to have C.J. Gardner-Johnson, man. And it's going to be a fantastic game. I am going to take the Saints to win. I'm going to take the Saints to win a close one and to advance to the NFC Championship. It's going to be a hell of a game, man. I say it could maybe even be the best game of the playoffs in general. You're getting Brady Breeze 3. You got playoff Tom. They're motivated. They're hot. It's going to be a great one, man. It's going to be a great one. I wouldn't be surprised but rather when a lot of people are going to be betting Saints. A lot of people are going to be betting Bucks. It's going to be so split, but we're staying with the Hoodats, of course, man. Ain't we? We doing it, brother. We doing it always.
Hey,
what's up? Go ahead.
Hey, man. Something I was just thinking about too. When you think about these two teams, and you had an opportunity to either play with a Tom Brady or a Drew Brees.
Yep.
You got to think like these guys they want to win this for Brees.
Oh yeah. They're all in for Drew. Every move this offseason, and Quan, win now. Malcolm Jenkins, win now. Emmanuel Sanders, win now. 100%.
And you look at, I'm not saying that they don't care about Brady. I'm not saying that they don't love Brady. Honestly, I don't think they have they don't have the love that these guys have for Drew Brees, even after all the stuff that happened before the season and all that stuff. I mean,
right.
That.
And see, I don't even think about that stuff, man. I even made a whole segment on that, and I don't even think about it because Drew came out. That was my thing is, did you hear everything he said? Obviously not going to get off on a tangent on that, but see, I haven't even been thinking about that stuff, man.
It just goes to show that this team loves their quarterback.
Yes, they do.
I really think they want to. I mean, they want to win it for themselves too. But honestly, they really want this for Drew Brees, and it's not. It's everyone from the top to the bottom. Everybody wants this for Drew Brees, and I think they're going to play their asses off, and I think they're going to pull out the victory here, and then go on to either Lambeau or if the Rams win, do they play us at home?
Yeah, man, we're the 2 seed, brother. That's why we need the Packers to lose.
The Packers, right,
Packers play Saturday. We play Sunday. So we will know by Saturday night that if we beat Tampa Bay, the New Orleans Saints will host the NFC Championship.
Yeah, buddy, keep your phone on you. You're going to be hearing from me a bunch.
Yes, sir. You already know, man. We're going to be binging football all day Saturday, all day Sunday. That is going to wrap up today's episode of the What Off Season Sports Podcast, everybody. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, as you do every week. And then we just previewed the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, guys, and I had a great guest on today, Jay the Plug. Guys, I'm telling you, this guy is hustling. Just had T-Pain on the show. He's interviewing people from Nappy Boy Gaming, man. He's getting rappers on there. He's had Marcus Allen. He's had Bro Show. Matter of fact, let me quit talking for him, Jay. What do you have coming up next on the Fantasy Football Plug podcast, brother?
On the Fantasy Football Plug podcast, I'm about to do some episodes for the Plugs Awards, MVP at each, QB, tight end, running back,
right,
receiver, busts, Rookie of the Year in each one, a bunch of. I'm gonna have a bunch of episodes coming up. Probably.
Y'all gotta check that out. This guy is literally the Fantasy Football Plug. Don't let him fool you. He's in like 900 leagues.
Yeah, it's so true. Championships, man. I'll tell you what though.
Hey, I believe it.
Lost some too.
Right.
But and then Plugged In with Jay, I'm gonna be having here fairly soon. I think it's going to be right after the season ends. I'm going to have a bunch of guests on. Like I've been talking with Darren Waller, Hayden Hurst, Antonio Gibson.
We're doing it. We love the community. We love bringing you guys the content on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere that you're going to see this podcast, guys. Of course, you can always click the link in the bio, check out every bit of content. Go follow Jay. You'll, of course, be able to see his name right there on the screen. I'll drop it on the screen at the FF Plug Podcast for everyone who's listening, not able to get to it on YouTube today. Like I said, guys, don't forget to click the link. Show. Be sure to tune in next week. We're going to have another guest as well. Going to be previewing the NFC and AFC championship. Might talk a little bit of NBA as well. Either way, we're going to be dropping it on Friday next week. As always, guys, this is What Off Season and Jay the Plug signing out, everybody.